Question 1. Which of the following best describes the purpose of coverage? D. Loss of use in a home insurance policy. A. It covers the cost of replacing damaged personal property due to a covered peril. B. It provides financial assistance for the cost of temporary housing if the insured home becomes uninhabitable due to a covered loss. C. It pays for medical expenses incurred by others if they are injured on the insured property. D. It compensates the insured for legal fees related to defending against liability claims. Answer. B. Explanation. Coverage. D. Loss of use provides financial assistance to policyholders for additional living expenses if the insured home becomes uninhabitable due to a covered peril such as a fire or storm. This coverage includes temporary housing costs and other necessary expenses incurred while the home is being repaired or rebuilt. Coverage with dwelling covers damage to the structure itself. Coverage C. Personal property covers damaged personal belongings. Coverage E. Personal liability covers legal defense costs, and coverage F. Medical payments to others covers medical expenses for others injured on the property. Question 2. Which of the following is considered a common exclusion in a typical home insurance policy? A. Fire damage to the dwelling. B. Theft of personal property. C. Damage from earthquakes. D. Water damage from burst pipes. Answer. C. Explanation. Most standard home insurance policies exclude coverage for damage caused by earthquakes. This means that if an earthquake damages the insured home, the policyholder would not receive compensation for the repair costs unless they have purchased a specific earthquake endorsement or a separate earthquake policy. Fire damage, theft of personal property, and water damage from burst pipes are generally covered under standard policies, although specific terms and limitations may vary. Question 3. Scenario-based. Mr. Thompson recently experienced significant water damage in his home due to a burst pipe. He has a standard home insurance policy but is unsure about the extent of coverage for the damage. What should Mr. Thompson do to ensure he receives appropriate compensation? A. Assume the damage is fully covered without checking the policy details. B. Immediately file a claim with his insurance company and provide evidence of the damage. C. Wait until the repairs are completed before contacting his insurance company. D. Attempt to fix the damage himself to avoid complications with the insurance claim. Answer. B. Explanation. Mr. Thompson should immediately file a claim with his insurance company and provide detailed evidence of the water damage. The standard home insurance policy typically covers water damage from burst pipes, but timely reporting and proper documentation are crucial for a successful claim. Waiting until repairs are completed or attempting to fix the damage himself could complicate the claims process or result in a denial of coverage. It is essential to understand the specifics of the policy, including any limits or exclusions related to water damage, and follow the insurer's guidelines for filing a claim. Question 4. Which of the following endorsements would typically be added to a home insurance policy to cover damage from floods? A. Earthquake endorsement. B. Flood endorsement. C. Inflation protection endorsement. D. Identity theft endorsement. Answer. B. Explanation. A flood endorsement is specifically designed to provide coverage for damage caused by flooding, which is usually excluded from standard home insurance policies. An earthquake endorsement would cover earthquake damage. Inflation protection endorsement adjusts coverage limits for inflation. An identity theft endorsement helps with expenses related to identity theft, none of which cover flood damage. Question 5. In the event of a claim dispute, what is the primary role of mediation in the claims process? A. To provide a legally binding decision on the claim. B. To facilitate a discussion between the insurer and policyholder to reach a mutually agreeable settlement. C. To conduct an independent assessment of the damage and policy terms. D. To automatically approve the claim based on predefined criteria. Answer. B. Explanation. Mediation is a process where a neutral third party helps facilitate discussions between the insurer and policyholder to reach a mutually acceptable settlement. It is not legally binding and does not involve an independent assessment or automatic approval of the claim. The mediator's role is to assist in resolving the dispute through negotiation and compromise. Question 6. Which of the following is typically a limitation of coverage in a standard home insurance policy? A. Coverage for fire damage to the dwelling. B. Coverage for theft of personal property. C. Sublimits for high-value items, such as jewelry and artwork. D. Coverage for medical payments to others. Answer. C. Explanation. Many standard home insurance policies have sublimits for high-value items like jewelry, artwork, and collectibles. This means that while the policy covers theft or damage to these items, there is a maximum limit on the amount payable. Coverage for fire damage, theft, and medical payments is generally included without such specific limitations. Question 7. Mr. Allen has a home insurance policy with a $1,000 deductible. If he incurs $4,500 in damage due to a covered peril, what amount will his insurance company pay for the claim? A. $3,500. B. $4,500. C. $5,500. D. $1,000. Answer A. Explanation. The deductible is the amount the policyholder must pay out of pocket before the insurance company covers the remaining damage costs. In this case, with a $1,000 deductible and $4,500 in damage, the insurance company would pay $4,500. $1,000 will equal $3,500. The deductible is subtracted from the total claim amount. Question 8. What is the primary purpose of the declarations page in a home insurance policy? A. To list all endorsements and riders attached to the policy. B. To provide a summary of the policyholder's coverage limits, premium amount, and deductibles. C. To outline the exclusions and limitations of the coverage. D. To detail the claims process and procedures. Answer B. Explanation. The declarations page provides a summary of the policyholder's coverage limits, premium amount, deductibles, and other key details about the policy. It does not typically list endorsements or riders, which are detailed in separate sections, outline exclusions and limitations in detail, or describe the claims process. Question 9. Which of the following would typically be considered a risk management strategy for a home insurance policyholder? A. Ignoring routine home maintenance tasks. B. Installing smoke detectors and a security system. C. Not reviewing the policy details annually. D. Avoiding the purchase of additional endorsements. Answer B. Explanation. Installing smoke detectors and the security system are proactive risk management strategies that help prevent losses and potentially reduce insurance premiums. Ignoring maintenance tasks, not reviewing policy details, and avoiding endorsements do not contribute to effective risk management and can leave the homeowner unprotected or underinsured. Question 10. Scenario-based. Mrs. Clark's home was damaged by a severe windstorm. Her policy covers windstorm damage, but she is concerned about whether her insurance will cover the full cost of repairs. What should Mrs. Clark do to ensure she receives the full benefit of her coverage? A. Delay filing the claim until she gets multiple repair estimates. B. Obtain a repair estimate and submit it along with her claim to her insurance company. C. Attempt to repair the damage herself to avoid a lengthy claims process. D. Contact her insurer to discuss the repair estimate only after the repairs are complete. Answer B. Explanation. Mrs. Clark should obtain a repair estimate and submit it with her claim to ensure that the insurance company has accurate information about the cost of repairs. This helps in assessing the claim and determining the appropriate coverage amount. Delaying the claim or attempting repairs without notifying the insurer can complicate the claims process and may result in a delay or denial of coverage. It's important to follow the insurance company's guidelines for filing and documenting claims. Question 11. Which type of home insurance policy typically provides the broadest coverage for personal property? A. HO1, B. HO2, C. HO3, D. HO4. Answer C. Explanation. The HO3 policy is the most common type of homeowners insurance and provides the broadest coverage for personal property. It covers all risks unless specifically excluded. HO1 offers very limited coverage, HO2 provides name peril coverage, and HO4 is for renters, covering personal property but not the dwelling itself. Question 12. Which of the following scenarios would typically be excluded from coverage under a standard home insurance policy? A. Damage caused by a fire due to a cooking accident. B. Loss of personal property due to theft. C. Damage caused by a flood from a nearby river. D. Damage to the dwelling from a windstorm. Answer C. Explanation. Most standard home insurance policies exclude coverage for flood damage, which means any damage from a flood, such as from a nearby river, would not be covered unless a specific flood endorsement or separate flood insurance is purchased. Fire, theft, and windstorm damage are generally covered by standard policies, though specifics may vary. Question 13. In which situation would coverage E? Personal liability be utilized in a home insurance policy? A. The insured's dog bites a visitor on the property. B. The insured's property is damaged by a hailstorm. C. The insured needs temporary housing while their home is repaired. D. The insured's personal belongings are stolen. Answer A. Explanation. Coverage E. Personal liability is designed to cover legal costs and damages if the insured is found legally responsible for injury or damage to others. This would apply in situations like the insured's dog biting a visitor, where liability for the injury falls on the homeowner. Damage to the property, temporary housing, and theft of personal belongings are covered under different sections of the policy. Question 14. What is the purpose of the inflation protection endorsement in a home insurance policy? A. To cover additional costs if the property value increases. B. To adjust the coverage limits periodically to reflect inflation. C. To provide coverage for inflation-related financial losses. D. To protect against loss of value due to depreciation. Answer B. Explanation. The inflation protection endorsement adjusts the coverage limits periodically to reflect inflation, ensuring that the policy's coverage keeps pace with rising construction and repair costs. This helps avoid underinsurance due to increasing costs over time. It does not cover additional costs due to increased property value or depreciation-related losses. Question 15. Which of the following is a primary responsibility of the insurance adjuster in the claims process? A. Setting the premium amounts for new policies. B. Providing legal defense for the insured in liability claims. C. Assessing and valuing the loss to determine the claim payout. D. Selling additional insurance products to the policyholder. Answer C. Explanation. The primary responsibility of the insurance adjuster is to assess and value the loss to determine the appropriate payout for the claim. They evaluate the extent of damage, review policy coverage, and work with the policyholder to settle the claim. Setting premiums, providing legal defense, and selling additional products are not within the adjuster's scope of duties. Question 16. Which coverage would typically apply if a tree falls on an insured's garage, damaging the structure and its contents? A. Coverage A. Dwelling. B. Coverage B. Other structures. C. Coverage C. Personal property. D. Coverage D. Loss of use. Answer B. Explanation. Coverage B. Other structures applies to structures on the property that are not attached to the dwelling, such as a garage. It would cover damage to the garage itself. Coverage A. Dwelling covers the primary residence. Coverage C. Personal property covers items inside the structure. And coverage D. Loss of use covers temporary living expenses if the home is uninhabitable. Question 17. Mrs. Lopez has purchased an endorsement for increased personal property coverage. Which of the following changes is she likely to see in her policy? A. A higher deductible on her personal property. B. A reduction in the premium amount for her policy. C. An increase in the coverage limit for personal belongings. D. A change in the coverage for the dwelling itself. Answer C. Explanation. Purchasing an endorsement for increased personal property coverage typically results in a higher coverage limit for personal belongings, allowing for greater reimbursement in the event of loss or damage. It does not affect the deductible, premium amount, or coverage for the dwelling itself. Question 18. If a policyholder's home insurance policy includes a named perils provision, what does this mean for their coverage? A. Coverage is provided for all risks except those specifically excluded. B. Coverage is provided only for the perils specifically listed in the policy. C. Coverage automatically includes all endorsements available. D. Coverage includes any peril that is not listed in the policy. Answer B. Explanation. A named perils provision means the policy covers only those perils explicitly listed in the policy document. It does not cover any risks or damages that are not specifically named. In contrast, an open perils policy provides coverage for all risks except those specifically excluded. Question 19. Mr. Davis is unsure whether his home insurance policy covers damage from a sewer backup. What should he do to verify coverage? A. Review the policy exclusions listed in his insurance contract. B. Contact his insurance agent and ask if sewer backup is covered. C. Assume it is covered if not specifically excluded. D. Wait until damage occurs to check coverage. Answer B. Explanation. Mr. Davis should contact his insurance agent to verify whether sewer backup damage is covered under his policy. This is because sewer backup is often excluded from standard home insurance policies and may require a specific endorsement for coverage. Relying on policy exclusions or waiting for damage is not advisable, as it may lead to unexpected out-of-pocket expenses. Question 20. Which of the following would be considered a practical application of loss prevention in home insurance? A. Increasing the policy deductible to lower the premium. B. Installing a home security system and smoke detectors. C. Reviewing the policy annually for changes in coverage. D. Purchasing additional liability coverage. Answer. B. Explanation. Installing a home security system and smoke detectors are proactive measures for loss prevention that can help reduce the risk of damage and potentially lower insurance premiums. Increasing the deductible lowers the premium but does not prevent loss. Reviewing the policy annually is important but not a loss prevention strategy, and purchasing additional liability coverage addresses coverage but not prevention. Question 21. If a homeowner's policy includes an endorsement for inflation protection, what specific benefit does this provide? A. It covers the increased cost of living expenses during repairs. B. It increases the policy's coverage limits based on inflation rates. C. It provides additional coverage for inflation-related damage. D. It adjusts the deductible amount based on inflation rates. Answer. B. Explanation. An endorsement for inflation protection increases the policy's coverage limits to keep up with inflation rates, ensuring that the coverage amount is adequate to cover rising repair and replacement costs over time. It does not cover increased living expenses, inflation-related damage, or adjust the deductible. Question 22. What is the primary difference between coverage A, dwelling, and coverage B? Other structures in a home insurance policy. A. Coverage A covers the personal property inside the home, while coverage B covers the home structure. B. Coverage A covers the home structure, while coverage B covers structures not attached to the home. C. Coverage A provides liability protection, while coverage B covers medical payments to others. D. Coverage A is for personal liability, while coverage B is for loss of use. Answer. B. Explanation. Coverage A. Dwelling covers the structure of the home itself, including the walls, roof, and foundation. Coverage B. Other structures covers detached structures on the property, such as a garage, shed, or fence. These coverages address different parts of the property but do not overlap in their scope. Question 23. In which situation would coverage D, loss of use, be activated under a home insurance policy? A. The insured's property is vandalized. B. The insured is unable to live in their home due to a covered loss, such as a fire. C. The insured's personal belongings are stolen. D. The insured is sued for personal liability. Answer. B. Explanation. Coverage D, loss of use, provides benefits for additional living expenses when the insured is temporarily unable to live in their home due to a covered peril, such as a fire or severe damage. It does not apply to vandalism, theft of personal belongings, or personal liability situations. Question 24. Which of the following would typically be included as part of coverage C? Personal property. A. Personal belongings such as clothing and electronics. B. The structure of the home and attached garage. C. Personal liability protection for injuries to others. D. Temporary housing costs while the home is being repaired. Answer. A. Explanation. Coverage C. Personal property covers personal belongings within the home, such as clothing, electronics, and furniture. It does not cover the home's structure, which is under coverage A. Personal liability, coverage E, or temporary housing costs, coverage D. Question 25. What is the main advantage of having a replacement cost to endorsement on a home insurance policy? A. It covers the actual cash value of the damaged property after depreciation. B. It provides coverage for the cost to replace damaged property with new items of similar kind and quality. C. It reimburses the cost of temporary living expenses during repairs. D. It extends coverage to additional structures on the property. Answer. B. Explanation. A replacement cost of endorsement ensures that damaged property is replaced with new items of similar kind and quality without deducting for depreciation. This is in contrast to the actual cash value (ACV) approach, which subtracts depreciation from the replacement cost. Question 26. If a homeowner's insurance policy includes a standard named perils provision, which of the following perils is not typically covered? A. Fire. B. Theft. C. Earthquake. D. Windstorm. Answer. C. Explanation. A named perils, a policy covers only those perils explicitly listed in the policy. Commonly excluded perils in such policies include earthquakes and floods. Fire, theft, and windstorm are typically covered perils in standard named perils policies. Question 27. Mr. Green's home is damaged by an earthquake. If his policy does not include an earthquake endorsement, what is the likely outcome? A. The policy will cover the full cost of repairs. B. The policy will cover part of the repair costs but not all. C. The policy will deny coverage for the earthquake damage. D. The policy will provide coverage but with a higher deductible. Answer. C. Explanation. If Mr. Green's policy does not include an earthquake endorsement, it will likely deny coverage for earthquake damage since standard home insurance policies typically exclude earthquakes unless specifically endorsed. Coverage for such perils requires additional endorsements or separate policies. Question 28. Which of the following is typically a responsibility of the policyholder during the claims process? A. Determining the settlement amount unilaterally. B. Providing timely and accurate documentation of the loss. C. Making final decisions on coverage and exclusions. D. Approving all repair estimates before submitting the claim. Answer. B. Explanation. During the claims process, the policyholder is responsible for providing timely and accurate documentation of the loss, including repair estimates and other relevant information. The insurer determines the settlement amount, assesses coverage and exclusions, and reviews repair estimates, not the policyholder. Question 29. Which of the following would be a common exclusion in a home insurance policy regarding property coverage? A. Damage from a fire caused by an unattended candle. B. Loss of personal property due to theft. C. Damage caused by gradual wear and tear. D. Damage from a tree falling on the home during a storm. Answer. C. Explanation. Damage from gradual wear and tear is a common exclusion in home insurance policies. Such issues are typically not covered because they result from the natural aging of materials rather than sudden accidental events like fire, theft, or storm damage. Question 30. Scenario-based. MS. Johnson's home has suffered significant damage from a windstorm, but she is unsure if her current policy provides adequate coverage. What should MS. Johnson do to ensure she has sufficient coverage for future losses? A. Wait until the next renewal period to review coverage options. B. Contact her insurance agent to review her policy and discuss potential endorsements. C. Reduce her coverage limits to lower the premium cost. D. Assume her current coverage is adequate if no additional claims have been filed. Answer. B. Explanation. MS. Johnson should contact her insurance agent to review her current policy and discuss potential endorsements to ensure she has adequate coverage for future losses. This proactive step allows her to address any gaps and adjust coverage as needed, rather than waiting until renewal or assuming her current coverage is sufficient. Reducing coverage limits can leave her underinsured, and not reviewing the policy might overlook potential coverage enhancements.